What's up, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and none of the above? This is DL, returning to you with more KSL Sinnoh Melee content. Today we'll be covering the game between JustJake and LucasB. So JustJake's got the roster of the Celebi, Raikou, Bronzong, Hitmontop, Drapion, Tauros, Drifblim, Lapras, and Camerupt. So Lucas has the roster of Swampert, Azelf, Roserade, Abomasnow, Feraligatr, Magneton, Hitmonlee, Linoone, and Altaria. So looking at this matchup, Celebi does look like a very strong threat, able to hit Pokemon like the Swampert and Feraligatr super effectively with its stab, as well as the Roserade, having a really good speed tier in the matchup. The only Pokemon on Lucas's team that speed ties with it is a Jolly Linoone, and then of course Azelf is faster as well. And the natural cure ability on Celebi also looks very, very useful against Pokemon like Swampert that would ordinarily want to toxic bulky grass types. Alternatively, Pokemon like Raikou actually looks really good too. Of course, Raikou is always really strong. But the issue it's going to look out for is that it's going to press for coverage in this matchup. Kind of wants HP Grass, kind of wants HP Fighting. You can definitely see. Actually, this is like Raikou has a really good speed tier, but it has a really massive coverage issues. So we'll see if Jake opts to bring it or not, or maybe looks for something like something similar to the Crocoon set, where he tries to pressure stall, or maybe they introduce like a Toxic or Thunder Wave into a set. Thunder Wave could be very, very strong against some of these grass types in particular, as well as even the Magneton, since electric types aren't immune to paralysis until Generation 5. And on Lucas's side, I will say that Abomasnow looks really good as long as it doesn't have to deal with the Bronzong. Abomasnow has pretty good matchups into the Celebi and the Raikou, which are Jake's top Pokemon, and its priority Ice Shard looks pretty strong in this matchup. And Jake doesn't have a lot of great elemental resists outside of this Bronzong, and so this Bronzong is going to be pressured really heavily by a lot of Lucas's team, namely from the Abomasnow, the Roserade, the Azelf, and the Magneton with the Magnet Pull ability can look to weaken this Bronzong and open opportunities up for those offensive grass types on Lucas's side. Similarly, because there's so much pressure on the Bronzong, a Linoone sweep does become more possible because Bronzong is going to be forced to take damage throughout the game by Lucas's pressure. And I don't know. This is going to be an interesting one. It's really hard for me to see how this is going to go down. I could definitely see Celebi just kind of destroying Lucas. But alternatively, if Bronzong goes down, I think that Lucas's offense is in a really strong position. Especially his water types are really, really good if they can get Celebi weakened. So like Celebi and Zong, I think, are in a lot of pressure to perform in this matchup. And I think Lucas's game plan's got to be revolving around wearing these Pokemon down to open up opportunities for the other Pokemon in his team, which makes sense considering that he has overlapping typings on his team with the double water and the Pert and the Gator, and the double grass and Roserade and Abomasnow. With all that said, let's get into the game. So we have Jake here and LucasB here. So we can see the Celebi lead versus the Roserade. So you'd think this is a good lead for Jake, but you never know what people have on their lead techs. You do see the immediate switch into the Altaria on the U-turn. So both of them playing it pretty conservatively. You see the Altaria revealed with leftovers, and here's the Tauros just going to hit him with the Body Slam. So I wonder what the Altaria is brought for. Probably as potentially as the Celebi check, maybe a Spadef set. So the Body Slam gets the paralysis and the full para, so very lucky for Jake. But natural cure on the Altaria is going to help with that. Magneton comes in and eats a ton of damage. Potentially scared of the Earthquake, but Tauros is potentially choiced. I guess there could be like banded. I don't know the damage numbers on non-Sheer Force Tauros, since it doesn't have that in this generation, obviously. So you see the Zong come out as they switch into the Magneton, so that's really interesting. As the Azelf comes out, it's going to U-turn to the Altaria as Zong misses Toxic, so I guess the luck evens out a bit there, but Altaria does have natural cure, so that isn't a big deal. So Jake does get up rocks. That's going to be very, very helpful. Lucas's spinner is Hitmonlee, which is not a great remover. Based on this damage, this is potentially actually a heat-proof Bronzong, because that flamethrower is really not doing much. As he does get the burn, which is very, very nice for him. Way more significant than this crit. And burn does 12% in all the generations before 7. So Zong, as we mentioned, needs to be worn down to open up opportunities for Lucas's team, and that's exactly what Lucas has done with his Altaria in that play. So this is interesting. So he goes into the Magneton, expecting a Zen Headbutt or so. And then he goes through the Explosion, which has basically 500 power this gen. Likely a Scarf Magneton there, looking to catch the Tauros. But he hits the Zong instead, which obviously resists it. But the damage on it is so good for other Mons on his team, as he misses Fire Blast. That's gotta suck. So that Zong probably would have gone down there to that Azel Fire Blast. Instead, he lives to get off a Toxic. And he's going to miss another Fire Blast as Drapion's just going to crunch it. So very, very unfortunate for Lucas, Zelf missing 2 out of 3 Fire Blasts. So that perk does come in and get up rocks, but straight into the spinner. I'd expect a Rapid Spin to come out here, but instead of Toxic. So very nice play from Lucas, recognizing that Jake wants to Toxic the Swampert, getting into the Poison Immunity. As he puts the Hitmontop to sleep so it can't get off the Rapid Spin. He expects the switch out. Oh, interesting. So he predicts a switch into something like, I would expect a Drapion would be what he's looking to catch with that stun spore with the double status play. But Jake gets the very lucky first turn wake there. And Technician boosts the Aerial Ace. It's really nice. We've seen Jake keeps opting for Technician on this Hitmontop over the Intimidate ability. And I've been assuming it's for Mach Punch, but to Aerial Ace, does Aerial Ace get boosted? I believe so, yeah, it's because it's 60 power or lower. So yeah, that's going to hit him really hard. We'll see if he does have the priority move to try to pick off the Roserade here, as he does reveal the Mach Punch as well. So that is great for him. With the Bronzong having been down, that Roserade became a massive threat. So yeah, Altaria is going to Roost, get Toxic off, so that's going to force the Altaria to switch out at some point. But he's got the Heal Bell actually, so he's not going to. So yeah, here is the spin. Kind of surprised he didn't go for that earlier. So he misses the Draco. Kind of confused what Jake's doing here. Maybe he doesn't value the Hitmontop anymore. But I don't see what he's really getting out of this. Because his Aerial Ace is doing a whole 20 damage. Maybe trying to condition him to get something more aggressive switch in. Try to force a Roost. But I guess the Altaria is not doing much damage either. So here's the Raikou. So it looks like it is what he's trying to do, is try to force the defensive move to get Raikou in safely. Potentially a substitute coming out here that has been a set he's been liking. Or Calm Mind, yep. Calm Mind is something he's loved. So there is the HP Grasp for the Swampert, but he reveals the Rindo Berry tech. It is Life Orb on the Raikou, but there he goes down. So that's interesting. So the Raikou was not very well equipped to take on Pokemon like the Magneton this game or the Roserade, but Jake plays very patiently with this Raikou. Take notice of that. Waits for the other tech to go down, and the thing that he's less likely to to waste the Swampert, since it's such a big defensive stalwart on Lucas's draft. He specifically packs the Life Orb HP Grass to try to deal with it, but Lucas is so well prepared for this Raikou after seeing it run through so many teams. He techs on the Rindo Berry on the Swampert just to be able to beat that. So you see Celebi come in and pick off the Swampert, revealing a Shadow Ball. So here is the Linoon. Into the Intimidate Tauros. We see a Belly Drum here. We do see a Belly Drum. And the Slack Berry. So he is the fastest Pokemon in the game now. But this thing should... no, it does not live. Because he's not defensive. And it looks like Linoon could very well win the game. Yup. And Belly Drum Linoon picks him off. Excellently played from Lucas. He's got some really good techs on his team. He got really unlucky with the Azel Fire Blast miss that set him back, but I really like the Explosion tech on the Magneton. I think that was one of the best things. The Rindo Berry on Swampert really bailed him out, because Raikou was a big threat to his draft. I think Jake could have tried to leverage the strength of Selby in the matchup a bit more. I think he didn't make good use of it. But yeah, as we mentioned in the team preview, weakening this Bronzong is going to be key to so many Pokemon trying to clean up. I was thinking maybe like the Roserade, the Abomasnow, or maybe even like the Celebi could be weakened for something like a Feraligatr. But the Linoon wing condition also hinged basically solely off of the Bronzong going down, especially with Steel resisting. Ghost and Dark this generation. Linoon doesn't have really any coverage moves for it. Anything better than hitting it neutrally. So yeah, he weakened the Zong. I think Jake should have played smarter to preserve health on his Bronzong, especially without knowing, without Lucas having revealed what his sixth Pokemon was. But yeah, still, well played to Lucas. Excellently played around this win condition. And I think the one thing I gotta be questioning is this decision here. I don't think that, I think this is a misplay from Jake. Because yes, I mean, he knows what the last Pokemon are. And imagine Celebi tries to beat Altaria, but, Altaria has limited heal bells, and if the Linoon dies, then, it can't exploit the natural cure ability, and it's coming in on rocks anyways. So I think he should be able to pick it off with something like the Tauros or the Drapion. In the case that the Celebi and Linoon trade. Yeah, I think that the one scenario he cannot allow here is, I mean, I guess the Slackberry doesn't even matter. He could have been like a Citrus Berry or something and it came to the same result, considering he used Extreme Speed to kill everything. And he should still be faster than the Hitmontop. Extreme Speed is only +1 priority this generation. But I think he needs to just stay in and hit this thing. He's possibly choice locked into Shadow Ball, which I think that's a situation he should have completely avoided and should have just locked into the grass move if he is choice locked. Because who cares about the Altaria? The Mystery Mon is a much bigger threat, even without him knowing what it is. But I mean, yeah, if he is choice locked, then that's just game there. But if he's not, I think he needs to hit this to try to, because I'd imagine Celebi's doing at least 38 with a grass move to Linoon. But yeah, that's me game. Well played to Lucas, and thank you all for watching. I'm looking forward to the next video.